call the meeting to order and stand for the pledge. All right, first up is the consent agenda with minutes from the council meeting of June 24th and July 1st, the HRA July 9th, Planning Commission July 8th, Library Board July 8th, Telecom Commission June 16th, Utility Commission June 26th. There is also an amplification permit for the Night to Night, which is August 5th, an amplification permit, a couple of them at least, for the Cottonwood County Fair, August 6th through the 9th. Cigarette license for holiday, excluded bingo permit, American Legion, August 6th through the 9th, and the regular bills. Did everyone read that? Have any questions, comments, changes? If not, we'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion made by Scott, second by Jason. Is there any other discussion?
So holiday is going to be Speedway. They're changing.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up is public comment. Windom Chamber of Commerce, Darcy Jones. Welcome, Darcy.
Good evening, everyone. It is Darcy Jones with the Chamber. I just wanted to come back and revisit a couple of requests from the Chamber. We're still trying to seek some funding options and help with our River Fest for next year. This year went really well. I feel like it was successful. There were a couple hiccups, but we got through them, and it was still a successful event. Everybody came out and enjoyed. One of the things we would be looking at for funding is we were requesting if we could have some financial help around the $7,000 range, if possible. What that would go to is kind of the safety part, having portable restrooms, being able to keep the events running smoothly. We do have volunteer options as well, but we're still looking for people to help fulfill those volunteer needs. For an example, I was wondering, with the Riverfest, we're looking at downsizing the event as a whole. I would like to bring it down to a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And with those in perspective, if we could have help from like our street department or the city, any of those departments to help with like the heavy duty lifting, such as moving picnic tables to and from different spots, helping with the barricades and the roadblocks. Just because of our staffing option, I am only one person, and I'm still looking for volunteers to help with those specific needs. So those are some asks or wants or requests from myself and the Chamber.
What's the purpose for the downsizing?
When we had it from Monday to Sunday, I was told that there's not enough activities. On, say, a Tuesday, there's nothing. And on Wednesday, we have the Pirates game, but then there was really nothing. They said it's too spread out. We have too many things going on in too many places. So again, with our staffing, with me being myself and the volunteers, we thought, what if we combine them all to like Friday night? I was thinking we could have the pedal pull starting off the River Fest with a live band. The community cookout could still be there, so you could still have food. And we could do fireworks, and then Saturday would be the normal tradition of your parade, everything that we have had on Saturday, ending on Sunday. And that would help with cost, volunteer time, staff time, everything else.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Darcy?
When would you put the pageant up? Riverfest pageant?
According with the Women of Today, we'll still keep that on Monday, as they're their own entity and they'll take care of that. And it won't come from myself or any of the other volunteers, so it won't affect the time, the commitment and all that. So that will still stay on Monday, along with the medallion hunt.
Does anyone have anything else?
Yeah, I think that sounds good. I think, I talked with Darcy before about this too, just saying that, having it run all week long is kind of difficult when you don't have a lot of volunteers. I think condensing it to just a weekend-long activity thing just seems much wiser, just to condense things into a weekend and let some of the other entities take charge of some of the bigger events, just have the chamber take care of the parade and be the organizer of things and the advertiser of things, and letting some of the community or organizations take charge of hosting different events around town, but really have the chamber be the person that you're the one that organizes it and advertises it, not the one that actually has to run every little thing. And I think that may help you out more. But as far as I think what you're looking at from the city, as far as what we can do with funding or, helping with those kind of efforts, I think that would go when we're looking at budgeting this fall. So I think, you're coming to us in plenty of time, which is good. And I just think that's something that we need to just, keep in the forefront when we look at budgeting this fall and keep that in mind. And then that would be the time that we would talk about that and see when, where we're at budgeting time. And then we can get back to you after that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darcy.
Thank you.
Up next, are there any department heads that want to speak that aren't further down? Sonia Wilt, our new EDA director, welcome.
Thank you. I just wanted to pop up here and introduce myself. And I'm the new director that you hired for the Economic Development Association. I spent some time as a finance director, so I've got some city background. I've also worked in the private sector for most of the last 25 years, both as a consultant to large businesses on the tax side, owning various businesses over the last 20 years. I'm super excited to serve the community.
Just want to say welcome aboard and remember to breathe. Because you got a job that it's a taxing job that what you got, but we welcome you and hope we'll look forward to the bigger and better things you can do for us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say too, welcome aboard and just take it day by day. We know that, you have a lot that comes up on your plate right away, day one, but just know that we have a whole community here to support you and welcome you aboard. And I think all of us on city council would say if there's anything that we can help you out with too, not that we maybe know a whole lot, but I think we have a really great city staff and a really great community. So, feel free to reach out to almost anybody. And our community is really great at answering questions and giving advice as well. So feel free to, reach out to people because people love to talk and give you their advice as well.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome. And okay, how am I going to remember? Is it Sonia or Sonia?
Sonia.
Sonia. Do you have a good way for me to remember that? Just with time?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, Sonia. And welcome. I have popped into her office a couple of times because as being new, I'm like, how are you doing? Are you okay? And she's like, I'm good. So that's comforting, but welcome. Like Jenny said, if you need anything, ask anybody, the community. Yeah, they might offer unsolicited advice too, but we all mean well. So
Great.
Welcome. Reach out if you need anything.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other department heads? Scott Peterson, Chief of Police.
On July 1st, a compliance officer from the Minnesota Peace Officer Standards and Training Board came to our office to conduct an audit of our policies, continuing education, and our hiring practices. Something that's generally done every 3 to 5 years for law enforcement agencies in the state of Minnesota. In your package, you have a letter from the executive director of the Minnesota Post Board that said we passed. Wanted to make you aware of this. I'd like to thank Devin Copperud. He helped us get ready for this. A lot of organization, and I'd like to thank all members of our staff for following standards. When I started, this was a job. We had 8 policies. I think we're up to 17 or 18 mandatory ones. Continuing ed has become, there's much more to it than what there originally was. So getting ready for something like this requires a lot of work, but we pride ourselves in following state standards and a commitment to excellence. So thank you.
Well done. Oh, yeah, well done for you and your department, Scott. And also in the packet was the certificate, which is good job. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Any other department heads? Okay. Next up is the Night to Unite proclamation. And Councilmember Jenny Quaid will read that for us. I do not have it printed, but you want me to, sorry.
Are you introducing this, Councilmember Quaid?
Yes, I will introduce the resolution for the Night to Unite proclamation.
I'll second that.
Maybe we can see there. Oh, that's good size. Okay. Windom's Night to Unite proclamation. Whereas the Minnesota Crime Prevention Association, AAA, and the local law enforcement agencies are sponsoring a unique nationwide crime, drug, and violence awareness program entitled Night to Unite on August 5th, 2025. And whereas the Night to Unite is designed to get to know one another in the city of Windom, build neighborhood involvement by bringing police and community together, and to bring awareness to crime prevention and local law enforcement efforts. Whereas Night to Unite provides opportunity to celebrate the ongoing work of law enforcement and neighborhoods in Windom by working together to fight crime and victimization and increase public safety for all citizens. And whereas the Department of Corrections, Cottonwood County Probation, the Southwest Crisis Center play a vital role in assisting Cottonwood County Sheriff's Department and the Windom Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts in Windom and supporting Night to Unite 2025 locally. And whereas it is essential to all citizens of Windom to be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and the impact that their participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in Windom. And whereas law enforcement community partnership, neighborhood safety and awareness, and cooperation are important themes of Night to Unite program. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Windom, Minnesota, that Tuesday, August 5th, 2025 is designated as Night to Unite in Windom, Minnesota, and citizens of Windom are encouraged to support and participate in Windom's 19th annual Night to Unite, adopted by this council this 15th day of July, 2025.
And now with this proclamation having been introduced, seconded, and read, we will do a roll call.
Nelson.
Yep.
Sherman.
Yes.
Esplin.
Yes.
Benson.
Yes.
Quaid.
Yes.
Wonderful. Night to Unite is August 5th, and we encourage everyone to come out for that. That will be do you want to?
Yes, it will be from 5 to 7, and this year we will be holding it at the Windom Community Center. So that is a change. It's not going to be downtown on 4th Avenue. It will be held at the Windom Community Center this year.
Anyone have anything else for the Night to Unite proclamation? Okay, thank you for reading that. Moving on, we have resolutions accepting a donation. And there are 3 resolutions up, all to the Windom Fire Department. Do you want to come up and talk about those or not so much? Welcome, Ben Derrickson, Fire Chief.
Ben Derrickson, Fire Chief. Back in early May, I believe it was, I applied for a grant through Federated Electric for some turnout, to help assist buy some turnout gear for our new members. Found out at the end of May that we've been accepted for that grant. The grant ended up being $7,500 from 3 different entities: Federated Electric, Basin Electric, and CoBank. They're all equal $2,500 checks from each one of them. Basically just asking for you guys to approve this. This covers about 3/4 of the cost of the gear that we need for our new members. So,
Thank you.
I'll make a resolution to accept a donation from Federation Rural Electric, Basic Electric, and CoBank.
I'll second.
These are one at a time, council member.
The resolution for Federal Rural Electric for the Windom Fire Department donation.
I'll second.
Resolution has been introduced by Scott, second by Jim. And with that, we'll have a roll call.
Benson,
Yes.
Quaid,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Sherman,
yes.
Esplin.
Wonderful. Next up, if we'll take an introduction for the donation of $2,500 from Basin Electric.
I'll introduce that resolution.
I'll second.
Introduced by Jason, second by Jenny, and we'll have a roll call.
Quaid,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Sherman.
Yes.
Esplin. Benson.
Yes.
Next up, we'll have someone introduce to accept the $2,500 donation from CoBank.
Second.
Introduced by Dennis, second by Jason, and roll call.
You're taxing my powers to keep up. Esplin.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Sherman.
Yes.
Benson.
Yes.
Quaid.
Yes.
Wonderful. All donations have been accepted. So thank you for applying for those grants. That's a big deal, makes a big difference. Thank you for taking the time to do that.
No problem. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Electric Department, assignment of power purchase agreements for the city of Casson. Jason Sikora?
Jason Segura, Electric Utility Manager. So this assignment agreement is between the City of Windom and the City of Casson. It is a agreement between Casson that they will assume all of the costs and stuff for the 2 contracts that we currently hold, NC2, which is a coal plant, and Whippy, which is a nuclear plant. We happen to be a little oversubscribed on our power purchases right now due to the loss of High Life and that amount of load that we lost with that. And Casson happened to be short on capacity, which is generation, which we now have enough of with our new generators coming online this year into the market. So we were long and covered there, so it allowed us to pass these contracts on to Casson, which will save us on our overhead costs and provide them with some power stability in their community. So it's a win-win for both of our communities, and the timing was good for our generation to come online. So
How much do you think you'll save a year?
anywhere past is anywhere from 500,000 savings to There were some years where it was kind of a break even with these contracts, which is why we have them, because they kind of cap the amount of energy we're gonna have to pay for. So those were years where High Life was running and power costs were high. But now we're kind of on the long side, so they don't quite pan out as well for us, but.
So, Councilmember Nelson, over the last 5 years, as Jason said, the cost was a high of about $500,000, and I think it was in 2022 or 3, we made a little bit. I think we made about $60,000 on these because the price of power was high and the price of capacity was high. But in 4 of the 5 years, we've lost, well in excess of $200,000 a year that these contracts have cost us. So on average, we're probably looking at $300,000 a year over the last 5 years of savings. But, anything can happen to the power market, anything can happen to the capacity market, we just don't know. But we do have enough power, we do have enough capacity to cover everything for the community's needs.
I'm gonna ask that 1 year will make up for that then, huh?
No, the one of the last 5, the best year was we made $68,000. The worst years it cost us $500,000. So even on another positive year, we're nowhere near breaking even on these contracts.
So there's no way any of the rates will get lowered then? We just save?
Well, we're gonna save some operational costs for the utility, but everything depends on what happens in the generation capacity market and in the power market. But because we do have contracts for those things, we're kind of protected on the upside of things, because that power gets sold in the market, we might make a little money out of it. That'll offset some of those costs that we have to pay for the power. So we're sitting in pretty good shape, especially due to our WAPA allocation of hydropower that provides how much of our power?
That provides about 60% of our
About
power.
60% of our power comes from that, and all those rates are all set in, so we're in really pretty good shape over the long run. And Utility Commission has discussed this thing at 2 meetings and have recommended approval, so.
And this is, we're locked in for 5. We can opt out in 5 if we need to, but it's 8 total.
So on NC2, which is the coal one, which has got more of the capacity and more of the power, in 5 years we can ask Casson, or basically we can get it back if our load has grown to the point where we need that back. But Whippy is just 8 years, and that contract is expired. So that is, nuclear power is a quite expensive energy source to have. So yeah, and then just to add to James's thing, as far as rates and stuff, I would imagine that we will see savings on the side of our power cost adjustment, which is the PCA, which is what gets added to the bills when power costs are high. So I'm hoping that, if power prices stay as they are now, that we'll continue to see that as a very low number, and this should help with that.
Should look a little bit better at budget time then too.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? Or we are then looking for a motion to approve the assignment agreement between the City of Windom and the City of Casson.
I'll make the motion.
Second it.
Motion made by Jim, second by Scott. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Jason. Next up is the resolution approving plans and specifications and ordering advertisement for bids for the 2025 Island Park berm grading project.
Yeah, as you recall, earlier this year, the council approved moving forward with the full design for this project. And so that was, obviously, it's in the resolution, April 15th. So the engineers have put the design specs together. We did reach out and talk with local contractors prior to getting this going out for bid to see if it could be quoted and done that way. Just with the cost, it looked like it needed to be bid out. So we'll take this step, we'll bid it out and get these bids back, and then it will come back to the council for you guys to decide if you're gonna accept the bids or not, and identify funding if you decide to move forward with the project.
I'll make a resolution to accept approving plans for specification and advertising for bids.
I'll second.
The resolution is introduced by Scott, second by Jenny. And with that, we'll take a roll call.
Okay, Sherman,
Aye.
Esplin. Yes. Benson,
Yes.
Quaid,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
All right, resolution is introduced and approved. Next up on the agenda is the Planning Commission recommendations. Two separate situations here. Variance of a parking area at 680 Plum Avenue for the Cremines, and a variance for garage construction, 2165 Cottonwood Lake Drive, Montgomery. And Matt Fass will lead us through this. Thank you, Matt.
Matt Fast, Building and Zoning. Variance application for Taylor Cremine and Emily Cremine. The applicants filed an application requesting a variance to allow them to extend their curb cut and also to concrete additional boulevard area. Planning Commission held a public hearing on this application on July 8th, 2025. Following review of the application information and code requirements, the public hearing, comments from the property owner, and additional code information provided by staff, the Planning Commission approved a motion to recommend that the City Council deny this variance application. The reasons for this recommendations are set forth in the minutes from the July 8th meeting and include, but are not limited to, the following. The existing curb cut is at least 45 feet in width and exceeds the limitations set forth in City Code Section 152.495, Subpart A3. City Code Section 152.495B2 provides that additional front yard parking may be on an area not to exceed 12 feet in width, abutting only one side of the driveway. This additional parking area is to begin at the property line, which is behind the boulevard area. The street superintendent does not favor increasing the size of the curb cut or converting additional boulevard into parking area. The city attorney is advised that this request for a variance does not meet the definition of practical difficulties in our code and Minnesota statutes, or meet all the requirements or criteria for the granting of a variance. The granting of this variance could set a precedent. In its motion, the Planning Commission found that the applicants have not established that there are practical difficulties as defined in state statute in complying with the ordinance, and the applicants have not established that the unique circumstances of the property were not created by the landowners. And Planning and Zoning Commission recommend deny the variance application submitted by Taylor and Emily Cremine, requesting the variance of their driveway approach specification to allow them to add more hard surface parking.
What was their reasoning that they wanted to enlarge that?
They have a camper that he would like to park on his property, and the way he currently does it is blocking one of his garage doors. I also want to add, I worked with Taylor on this for some months now, and also advised him that I did not believe that I could recommend to the Planning Commission that this variance would be granted. I believe that's outside of our code, and I would not recommend that to our Planning Commission.
So he wants to, his driveway is X number of feet, and he wants to add another 12, right? So he can just back up in, but that puts concrete on the boulevard, and I got an email. Matt and I have spoken on this because Taylor and I have also spoken and trying to see what, and I mean, I think, yeah, so he wants to make that all concrete, which there are not utilities under that, but even without the curb cut, still probably not the best idea. When Mary sent an email to today, which was the first time I had heard of it or considered it, but she mentioned that if heavy rain landed on that concrete, it could overwhelm the storm sewer drains, which is part of the reason too that, you know, that full pad of concrete just isn't a good idea. So, and you've spoken with Taylor, and he understands the way this is written, and
Yeah, he understands the way it's written. I've spoken to Taylor, and like I said, prior to even applying for the variance, I had that conversation with him that I couldn't recommend it to the planning and commission for recommendation.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward in this case. Already the curb cut is about, what, 45 feet already? And then that would be not a curb cut, but yes, it would stretch it out quite a bit to nearly 60 feet wide, so.
does anyone have any questions for Matt or comments on this?
I'll make a resolution to deny the parking area for 680 Plum Avenue.
I'll second.
Motion has been made by Scott and second by Jim to deny the variance application submitted by Taylor and Emily Cremeen requesting a variance of the driveway approach at 680 Plum Avenue. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up is the variance on the garage construction of 2165 Cottonwood Lake Drive for Mr. Montgomery.
Joshua Montgomery filed an application requesting a variance to delay construction or placement of a garage on his property until sometime in the future. The applicant purchased a vacant lot and has since purchased a modular home to move onto the property. He's obtained a building permit, and contractors are currently installing the foundation to move the house onto the foundation this year. Planning Commission held a public hearing on this application on July 8th, 2025. Following review of the application information and code requirements, the public hearing, comments from the property owner, and additional code information provided by staff, the Planning Commission approved the motion to recommend that the City Council deny this variance application. Reasons for this recommendation are set forth in the minutes from July 8th and include, but are not limited to the following. City Code Section 152.495B1 provides that all single-family homes built, assembled, or placed on residential lots must provide at minimum access to and space for off-street parking for two standard-sized vehicles. This requirement shall include sheltered off-street parking for a minimum of one standard-sized vehicle. Minimum dimensions of the sheltered space shall be a depth of 20 feet and a width of 12 feet with a door height of 7 feet. Mr. Montgomery stated that he did not have a time frame for the construction of or placement of a garage on the property. He also stated that his request to delay the garage is economically related as the money comes along. City Code Section 152.565 defines practical difficulties and further states that economic considerations alone do not constitute practical difficulties. The city attorney has advised that this request for a variance does not meet the definition of practical difficulties in our code, in the Windom City Code, or Minnesota statutes, or meet all the requirements or criteria for the granting of a variance. The granting of this variance could set a precedent. In its motion, the Planning Commission found that the applicant has not established that there are practical difficulties as defined by state statute in complying with the ordinance, and that the applicant has not established there are unique circumstances of the property. Recommendation to council would be to deny the variance application submitted by Josh Montgomery, requesting a variance to delay the time for construction placement of a garage on his residential property.
Thank you, Matt. Does anyone have any questions or comments on this particular variance? So we got a letter, you got this letter too, right, an email from Josh Montgomery, and I did spend about 45 minutes on the phone with him today, right before the meeting. So Josh lives in Hopkins, bought this property as a seasonal use, bought an open lot. He is also on the Planning and Zoning Committee in Hopkins, and he is involved in construction and engineering. And one thing that he stressed to me, and I think he has in here too, that he praised the staff that said how helpful you guys were and explanatory in helping him get through things, but he could not find code or up-to-date code online, and just, I think I'm sorry, what? Yes, he was provided, but as he was trying to research himself, yes, he was provided, and he was very frank about that, how helpful and nice everyone has been. But he's just got a lot of points in this letter that I don't know if we maybe take some more time to look in through some of this stuff. I mean, he notes, does anyone have anything that stuck out to them that they would like to bring up or make a different point on it?
Right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What, putting it off to a later date, maybe if he could come up with a date, I don't know.
And excuse me. And we asked him that at the planning commission meeting. He cannot provide it. He could not provide a date, whether it was 1 year, 2 year, 5 years. He couldn't come up with a date for doing it.
I did ask the city attorney that question this afternoon, and there essentially is not a mechanism, if they never do it, you'd be going to court to force somebody to build a garage, and that's just not, what you want to get involved in doing. And so violation of the zoning ordinance is a misdemeanor, but again, you're going to spend a lot of, time and effort to try to force somebody to build a garage. It's better to, deny it if they're not going to build according to the code than to say, okay, we promise to do it later down the line. That was just the attorney conversation I had today, but.
A couple things. One is, I know we're not going to get into a lengthy discussion right now about, exact meaning of code and stuff. But he mentioned this in his letter about putting in a carport as being allowed in this setting instead of an actual garage, but the garage is on the actual building permit, right?
He submitted plans so he could get started with the garage attached, and the conversation was he will apply for the variance. If the variance is denied, then he'll build the garage, was our previous conversation, to get the building permit process started.
Mm-hmm. And one other thing that stood out to me, I have not done the comparison myself yet on the different zoning things for single-family, two-family, multifamily, manufactured home. And it seems that there might be some benefit in going through those to see if there's any way to shore up any inconsistencies we might have in that stuff in the future.
I agree. I haven't looked, I read his letter, but I haven't looked and followed the code pass through to see the validity or what. I know specifically in the R2 district, it lays out the code pretty simple.
And that's what I also agree with the planning and zoning, and our city attorney already looked at this once and they denied it. So with me, myself, I think he's running out of gas here because he's grasping at straws. But why would we want our city attorney to spend time on it and our planning and zoning committee to spend time on it if we don't listen to their recommendation? Type of thing. That's the way I feel.
But have they, this new letter that just came here right before we started this meeting, have they been able to review this information that we just got? That would be my question. The information that
Councilmember Quaid submitted tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, just.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you've had time to look all, could we table this and have, you look at this again and the planning commission and the city attorney just just enough time to read this and give her any consideration. If there's anything different that we should look at, just table this and put this on for the next. I mean, not that we need to spend a ton of time, but just so that we can say that you have looked at this again to see if there's anything that would change with any of the things that he said, you know, because I honestly, you know, got this right before we sat down, so I have not had time to read this either, and I would like an opportunity to be able to read it, to see with what information we had before compared to what he said here. I think it at least deserves our attention to read through this more thoroughly before we give any kind of answer.
Yes, I believe that's an appropriate action. Take a look at it, consult the city attorney if needed. I don't believe it's going to change the outcome. However,
So I guess I would just make a motion, we table this, have planning and zoning, have our Matt take a look at this and see if he needs to bring it back before planning and zoning or not, or at least Matt look at this letter and see, and come back to us again.
yes, and if we choose the table, it'll need to be the second meeting in August.
Okay, that would be fine. I would make a motion that we table it till the second meeting in August then.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Jenny, second by Jason to table this variance request approval or denial until August 19th council meeting. Is there any further discussion?
Does this have any bearing on the 60-day thing?
You said the city is able to extend it one time, and so I did ask staff that earlier tonight, and we're okay with that portion of the process.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I'm gonna abstain. I'm gonna abstain from voting on this because over the last few months, I've been working for Mr. Montgomery. That's the reason for my abstaining.
Dennis abstains and motion carries. Thank you, Matt. Next up is the first reading ordinance number 201, second series, study and moratorium, CUP applications for billboards.
Planning Commission previously discussed the need to review the city code language regarding billboards within city limits. On June 10th, the commissioners approved a recommendation that the city council authorize preparation of a proposed ordinance authorizing a study and establishing a 6-month moratorium on acceptance of applications for billboards. At the meeting on June 17th, the city council approved a motion authorizing the planning commission to proceed with a moratorium ordinance related to conditional use permits for billboards. Pursuant to information from Minnesota statutes provided by City Attorney Ron Trammell, a proposed ordinance number 201, second series, entitled An Interim Ordinance of the City of Windom, Minnesota, authorizing a study and imposing a moratorium on the acceptance of conditional use permit application for billboards has been prepared. City Attorney has reviewed and approved this proposed ordinance. He has also reviewed Minnesota statutes and confirmed that the city does not need to hold a public hearing on this proposed ordinance. At the July 8th meeting, the Planning Commission approved a motion to approve the proposed ordinance number 201, second series, as presented, and recommend that the City Council hold the required 2 readings of the new ordinance and adopt the ordinance. And recommendation would be approved first reading of ordinance number 201, second series, entitled An Interim Ordinance of the City of Windom, Minnesota, authorizing a study and imposing a moratorium on the acceptance of conditional use permit applications for billboards.
Is there a time limit on this interim ordinance? 6 months? Okay.
It'd be six months after it takes effect. So you have first reading, second reading, and publication in the newspaper, and that's when the 6 months will start. So in about 3 or 4 weeks.
I'll make a motion to accept the first reading ordinance of 201, second series.
I'll second.
Motion made by Scott, second by Jenny. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Matt. Next up is Riverbend Liquor Fire Department fundraisers, August 1st through September 11th, and John Nelson will lead us through this.
All right, John Nelson, liquor store manager. So in an effort to help cities promote the community value of their municipal liquor store operations, the Minnesota Municipal Beverage Association, in partnership with Molson Coors, is coordinating the 7th annual fundraiser benefiting local fire departments. This event will run from August 1st to September 11th. This is an effort to help raise additional money for local fire departments, as many are running on very tight budgets. All funds raised here in Windom will go directly to the Windom Fire Department upon City Council action tonight. So Riverbend Liquor is looking at doing 3 different fundraisers for the Windom Fire Department this year. The first is the pallet raffle, which was approved. The gambling permit was approved by the City Council, I believe, June 2nd. We've done this for the last 2 years. It's been an overall success. So we are partnering with the Windom Fire Department Relief Association to have a pallet of Coors Banquet or Coors Light raffled off. Tickets will be sold at the liquor store along with the local firefighters selling tickets. Ticket costs will be $10 each, and all proceeds will benefit the Windom Fire Department Relief Association directly. The second that we do is a fire boot donation at our registers. So Molson Coors has specifically made fire boots made for displays. So we will place those boots at our registers, and once the fundraiser is complete, all the money is turned over directly to the Windom Fire Department Relief Association for them to deposit it. The third one is the one that does need council approval. So that is the donation from the liquor store, donation or a transfer from the liquor fund to the general fund for the fire department, based on sales of Coors Banquet and Coors Light during the promotion, which is August 1st to September 11th. The funding for the fire department would be through sales, which would be broken down through the following: $1 for every case of beer sold, 75 cents for every 15 or 18 pack, 50 cents for every 9 pack or 12 pack, and a quarter for every 6 pack. Total proceeds from this fundraiser would be transferred to the fire department general fund to be used to offset equipment purchases during the 2025 fiscal year. The fiscal impact is minimal, as this would be done in lieu of advertising the sale in these products during that time frame. In the past, this has resulted in a transfer of, and I had a typo in there, $607.50 in 2023 and $692.50 in 2024. So I'm looking for a motion to approve that fundraiser, and then I'll be back in at the end of August or end of September to approve the final transfer amount.
I'll make a motion to approve the Riverbend Liquor Store or fundraiser for the fire department.
I'll second.
Who got that second? Jim. Motion made by Scott, second by Jim, to approve the Riverbend Liquor Fire Department fundraisers for August 1st through September 11th. Is there any further discussion?
Just want to make a quick comment. Got things looking pretty nice down there. I liked what you done down there. It's looking pretty good. Thank you very much.
If you haven't been by, Councilmember Benson's referring to the landscaping project was completed, so we're currently in the process of trying to get the grass to regrow, but we're working on it.
And on the 29th, we'll see it with the council.
Keep working on that office, by the way.
when do they start selling your tickets?
I believe we're still waiting on the permit to be approved, but the goal is to have tickets out August 1st.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, John. Next up, under new business. City Council meeting, August 5th, 2025, time change for Night to Unite.
This is a request I make every year because Night to Unite is a national night, and so everyone in the nation celebrates it on the same night, and it always falls on a council night. And the Night to Unite runs from 5 to 7, and our council meetings generally start at 6:30. And this year, since we are holding a Night to Unite up at the community center, it's not going to be just a block away. So I would like to request that instead of starting at 6:30, that we would start at 7:30 on that Tuesday night. So hopefully we have a light agenda, but I would like to make a motion that we would start on our council meeting on Tuesday, August 5th at 7:30 instead of 6:30 for
I'll
Night to
second
Unite.
that.
Motion made by Jenny, second by Jason to start the August 5th meeting at 7:30 instead of 6:30 as to accommodate for National Night to Unite. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. I encourage all our council members and mayor to attend, and of course, everyone from the public.
Next, under old business, city council meeting, July 29th, 2025, facility tour completion. If everyone is aware, I am down with whatever, but remember when there was a Meet Every Listener tour that K-Love was a radio station that put on? I don't recall if that was late summer, early fall. It was a nationwide contest, and Windom won, of all places. And there's been some, I haven't followed it too closely. I'm not a K-Love listener. Jason has, I'm sure, followed this. So it was going to be in Mountain Lake, and then it's been changed to Windom at the Bark Building at 7 p.m. on July 29th. So it was just a date that when I saw that it was going to be back in Windom, and then I was like, I think I got something that day, but it seems like it's going to draw a lot of people to town. Maybe it isn't it kind of seems like a once in a lifetime opportunity, but I don't know if it's of interest to anybody. I just thought maybe it was something we consider.
And also, Caleb is going to be in Mountain Lake in the morning at A&W from, I think it's 8 to 10 a.m. And then there's going to be a large contingency crowd here in Windom because of that event.
Well, I'm open to, I just thought I would make sure everybody knew that that was all happening simultaneously and see what any thoughts are if we just keep the facility tour or if we consider changing a date. I mean, I don't care, but if it's something, like I said, it might be a big event in town. I don't know if we want to see it or be there or.
Yes, well, I'll just speak fully. There's going to be a ton of people there. And I would like to reschedule if possible, but it's not about me.
Yeah, I'm looking. Do you know where that is posted? I've been trying to find where, like, I've been looking on the K-Love radio, but I can't find where the event is actually posted.
That's a great question. I don't know specifically. I
Okay.
got my
'Cause-
information from the internet.
Okay, I heard about it, but I cannot find the actual advertisement posting for it, and so that's what I've been looking for, to see that it's an actual, where the event is. So. Have you heard it? So you have confirmation at Bark, so it is a for sure thing. Okay. I just, like, I've heard about it, but I have not seen an actual flyer or, information, so that's why I was like, I think it would
AI
be
is
good,
very
good to
helpful.
get the information out there.
AI just helped me out real
Just
good.
told you
Yeah.
about it. So where are we finding this information from? Like, is the BARC has the information out there, do you know, or? Who? Just for, I guess, for the public to know where we found it. Ah, yes. So yes, I mean, so all the media outlets out there, whoever could get more information, because I think, yes, that would be a huge thing for the public to know about and to have more information, just to have out there. So yeah, I think that is a big draw to town, and I think there are probably people that would be interested in attending that, so yeah, I think maybe looking at switching our date.
And if we switch it, where do we switch it to?
You have a council meeting the 5th of August, and then the next Tuesday is, the second Tuesday of the month would be the 12th of August, if you want to keep with the Tuesday theme and an off council week, but it,
I think
you
that
gonna be
works.
around the 12th? Yep, gives you more time to clean your office. Okay.
Why did we change it to the 29th? Somebody was busy.
Yeah, we had people that were busy on council, yeah.
The liquor committee will still be there sometime on the 29th to make sure the office is clean of the liquor store manager.
Do you want a motion? And
I'll make a motion to reschedule the city council special meeting of the facility tours to August 12th, starting at 5 PM.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Jenny, second by Jason to reschedule the final facility tour completion to August 12th at 5 PM. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And we're at council comments. Would anyone like to start? Scott?
Just again, with the heat and all the stuff going on, make sure you check on neighbors and people that don't have the air conditioning, or if they're out doing something, make sure people are taking in enough water and taking care of yourselves. And if you don't have your yards mowed, please mow your yards, because it's getting deep out there for some people. And remember, the city staff are doing the best they can with what they have, so just be patient with everything that's going on, because it's just a busy time of year for everybody. Thank you.
Jenny?
I will just make another plug about Night to Unite, which is our annual event on Tuesday, August 5th. And like I said earlier, the change, it will now be at the Windom Community Center from 5 to 7, not downtown on the square. And up there at the community center this year, we're hoping for a bigger turnout. We have more area, we have more parking. It'll be more accessible to people. The Lions Club is going to be grilling out. Premier Iowa Pork is donating pork patties, so you'll be able to try out the new pork patties that Premier Iowa Pork is making. Hy-Vee is also helping with donating items as well for the meal, but the Lions Club will be grilling and serving. The whole entire gym at the Windom Community Center is going to be completely full of bouncy houses. They have bouncy houses for little ones, like ages 2 and 3, and they have a bouncy house that's specifically for ages 12 and older to be on. So your kids, for 2 hours, parents need to be with their children when they're in there, but for 2 hours for free, your kids can get all their energy out from 5 to 7. They will be wore out and ready for bed on a Tuesday night. So that would be wonderful. Then in the hallways of the community center and outdoors, we will have different community agencies that will have information to hand out, or activities or things that you can interact with. And then outdoors, we will also have our safety fair. We will have our local police. We'll have our sheriff's department. We will have our ambulance. We will have our fire department. We'll have KDOM there providing music, both inside and outside. you'll be able to this is a great opportunity. We're going to have the Windom school bus there. Windom Schools is going to be there having a booth as well. And then we have 2 senior kids, Drayton Fritz and Jacob Winters, that are going to, their part of their senior project is donating school supplies. And so you'll see information about that out there too. They're encouraging community members to bring donated school supplies and pack the school bus. So they're trying to pack the school bus with donated school supplies that'll all go to the Windom schools for kids in the community. And so they have information that's going out on KDOM about that now and collecting school supplies up to that night, but that night is the final night to pack the bus with their school supplies. So we encourage people to come out, take advantage of this. There'll be the meal that the Lions Club will be serving. I believe that's $7. There's the pork patties and hot dogs, chips, water, cookies, that kind of stuff. And then there's going to be all the activities to do, booths, information, community involvement. Just get out, have fun, meet your neighbors, meet our local law enforcement and fire and ambulance and personnel. It's just really a night to get to know each other and get to know your neighbors and your community. Because the more you know each other and get together, the more we can reduce crime and violence. And that's really what it's all about. And we just hope to see you out there from 5 to 7. Again, that is Tuesday, August 5th. There's my big push.
Well done. Dennis, do you have anything for council comments? Jason, do you have anything for council comments?
Not tonight. Have a great week.
Jim, do you have anything for council comments?
Congratulations to the police department. You guys, you deserve it. And waiting for budget time with you, Jason.
And I would like to once again welcome EDA Sonia Welts. Look forward to working with you and seeing what can happen here in Windom. It is crazy days this weekend in Windom. I saw the liquor store has some crazy deals going on. So the kickoff to that is hot dog night on the square. It's from 5 to 7. It's organized by the chamber. So if you're into hot dogs, you should hit the square Thursday night from 5 to 7. And then many, maybe if not all, retailers are celebrating crazy days this weekend on Friday and Saturday primarily, I believe. So if you're looking for some good deals for crazy days, hit up your local retailers. And just a big thank you to all city staff. Just for myself personally, I ask a lot of questions and everybody's always awesome. So I just want to make sure to be grateful to all of you. Thank you for everything you do this week and always. And I think that sums it up. So we'll adjourn the meeting by unanimous consent.